this morning at Akapian sa Manila Bay. A very good friend actually because he used to write for the Philippine Star, but we don't see each other. But his mother is also a good friend of us, Senator Lauren De Garda, but he has overshadowed his mother in terms of being in the national news. He is a neophyte. I call him a billionaire lawmaker because when he entered Congress, he's already a self-made billionaire. And we cannot consider him a nepo baby because he's not. He's been independent all throughout his life. And I know because his mother used to complain to him that he's so independent that he could not even influence him to his own decision-making. Anyway, without further much ado, I would like to formally introduce to you Batangas Rep. Leandro Lean Leviste. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, and thank you very much for the honor to be a guest at today's Kapihan sa Manila Bay. May I make some opening
Yes, go
remark?
ahead. That's what we always do. We ask our guests to do his or her own opening statement, and we'll draw questions later on from that.
And we can also have this distributed.
He has a very important announcement today, guys, so please listen up.
Yes, and thank you very much to the media for your time this morning. I know there's been a lot of news on the DPWH over the past few months and also very recently. Maybe just to preface this with our goal this whole time, which was to reform the DPWH and its budget process. And I am thankful that we have had a very fruitful partnership with Secretary Vince Dizon and his team on making significant progress over the past few months. And timely also because the budget is now being finalized, and I hope that some of the reforms that we have been pushing will make it into the final version of the 2026 budget. But the specific thing that we to the public about in October was that multiple appointees in the DPWH are linked to contractors or are contractors. And what we are distributing now is our official statement on this, which you can refer to more precisely. But I would like to thank Secretary Vince Dizon because after our initial statement in October, he and his team and I have been talking and investigating the background of officials in the DPWH. And I have here a copy of the letter where he rescinded the appointment of an assistant secretary for convergence and technical support and a director 4 of the Office of the Undersecretary for Operations in charge of convergence projects and technical services. He writes, after careful reconsideration, I believe it is necessary to rescind my support for this appointment. And I have been also doing my own research and learned that the two individuals are beneficial owners of companies in the construction business. I don't want to dwell on the identity of these two individuals who are no longer in the DPWH. I would like to thank...
Effective when?
This doesn't have a date on it, but I spoke with the team of Secretary Dizon and briefly with Secretary Dizon, who confirmed that these individuals were removed after their investigation and have links, or in the case of these two individuals, say, are contractors. Because one individual here owns a company that supplies DPWH.
Supplier.
Another individual here is also in a company that, if it's not a direct contractor, is a subcontractor. Again, it's not that relevant anymore what
Because they were
business
dismissed.
they are doing with DPWH. What's relevant is, after we did this in October and spoke with and worked with Secretary Dizon, he very quickly took action and made sure what he committed, that no appointees of his are contractors. And Secretary Vince probably did not know that these two were contractors initially. And I thank him for acting quickly once an investigation confirmed this. And I also thank Secretary Vince for removing Undersecretary Ari Perez after he attempted to bring Garjola to Secretary Dizon.
Oh, we attempted pa.
So, the second thing I would like to share, which they can also confirm, is that when I said in October that multiple appointees of Secretary Dizon have links to or are contractors, first, my intention was not primarily a change in personnel, but a reform of the whole system and the budget.
Yeah.
But when it got to the matters on personnel, Secretary Dizon took quick action to replace them and confirms that Ari Perez is close to CWS party list representative Edwin Garjola.
Because he is what?
I can say a little bit, but again, I don't want to
Is he linked to Garjola?
rub salt on individuals who have already been removed, as long as they are indeed no longer involved in the DPWH. But because you asked, ma'am,
Oh, yeah.
I received information from multiple sources,
Mm.
some in Batangas, and some from the previous positions of Ari Perez.
Yeah.
Ari Perez's first wife
Okay.
is from Lipa.
Okay.
So, in Batangas, many people confirm that Ari is close to Garjola because he used to go home to Lipa and was in the same social circle as Congressman Garjola. In fact, many members of Congress know that Ari is close to Garjola as background.
Yeah.
And, in fact, have said that after Ari was appointed to the DPWH, kung gusto mong makakuha ng budget para sa project sa DPWH, pwede kang dumaan kay Congressman Garjola dahil malakas siya kay kay Ari Perez. And again, my intention is not to belabor the personal side of this topic, but to bring to light that the system of allocating budget needs to be reformed, because what has been reported has been the practice in past years is still being done, but thanks to Secretary Dizon removing Undersecretary Ari Perez and the individuals whom he brought with him who actually are contractors, we are reducing the influence of contractors in the DPWH central office.
Okay, can I now ask you now? No, I understand you. I'm with you on that systemic. It's more of systemic problem of our budget system, our budget process, where the problem lies, especially on influence peddling and influential contractors making throwing their weight around among lawmakers. But first off, I would like to ask first. I would like to belabor the point. Are you just satisfied for the removal? Because for me, as a taxpayer, I don't find any full satisfaction that they just get fired. I want them to be held accountable for the taxpayers' money lost to their corruption.
In the case of Yusek Perez and the two people he brought with him, they were new on the job. So hopefully we're not able to do anything that should be brought to court yet.
Oh, yeah. I understand.
And that's why, again, it's good news that we caught it right when they were new on the job.
Yeah.
And that Secretary Dizon can confirm after they did the investigation, they confirmed that they are contractors or are linked to contractors and remove them.
Yeah.
So that the projects of the DPWH central office moving forward will hopefully no longer be unduly influenced by contractors. Because to put in context, the role of USEC for operations and technical services is overseeing projects just like I think former USEC Roberto Bernardo was overseeing projects in the DPWH. It's a very powerful position. And it includes overseeing the bidding of projects in DPWH. That's why the talk in Congress was if you want extra budget in the DPWH, you go to Congressman Garjola, who is close to Ari Perez. And I'm thankful to Secretary Dizon that he does not tolerate that practice and therefore removed these appointees.
May tawag sa Pilipino yan eh, bantay sa lakay. Kala natin nagbabantay, watchdog, pero sila the ones attacking our, pero it's a good news na kami, October, November, December, so barely 2 to 3 months lang sila in the job. And normally, I know, as far as I know, being employed in the government will take, before you can get your salary, mga 6 months kang bago makuha yung salary mo bago makuha dahil sa daming requirements. May SALN, may mga NBI clearance, police clearance. I don't know what happened to the vetting process. Diba may NBI clearance, may police clearance, lahat ng clearance nire-require bago ka ma-appoint. May SALN. What happened to the vetting process? If that's the kind of people they get. I know there are appointees, political appointees. Pero yung ASEC level, mga political appointees pa rin yan. Director, medyo political appointees pa rin.
I think Secretary Vince trusted Ari and did not know that the people he brought with him are contractors. So when he found out, he removed them.
Yeah, pero I don't find satisfaction that he does not know. Because how can you be a good secretary if you are not a good vetter or checker, fact checker na lang, or background checking? You did not practice due diligence.
At least he's open to feedback from congressmen because I have talked to them extensively about this, and I hope the public will not take it against us that we're doing background checks on government officials, because I think some people are saying that this is not usually done, but better that it's done than it's not.
Yeah.
And
That's the advantage of at least something was done.
yes, and as congressmen, we have oversight of
Yes.
the DPWH.
Yes.
And that I also mentioned in this official statement that investigations are ongoing on an undersecretary of another agency who became a DPWH contractor with flood control projects after assuming office.
Bago rin.
And I actually have
Another USEC na outside the DPWH.
I actually have the GIS
Uh-huh.
of the company that was newly incorporated of this undersecretary of another agency than DPWH, which you can easily check has a flood control contract with DPWH.
My God.
But I don't want to, again, bring this out now because I believe it's already being investigated upon and will be dealt with appropriately.
Yeah.
And I also find it important to note that it's not just these few individuals, it's systemic.
Yeah.
And baka kung tatanggalin natin lahat ng mga
Mawawalan.
government officials na may connection sa mga contractor, kukunti
Ubos.
na lang ang matitira.
Parang sa Kongreso, mauubos ang Kongreso, sabi ni Ombudsman Revilla, Remulla, mga at least 10% of them.
Ikaw na pumamang nagsabi niyan.
Kaya kinakot ko siya, si Ombudsman
Opo.
Revilla, Remulla, nagkakamali pa ako.
But I guess I can
Yeah, go
say
ahead.
what I wrote also here, that the government is full of DPWH contractors and officials from all over government, not only congressmen and senators, try to get insertions. This diverts the budget towards money-making projects like flood control and roads. And we will keep on pushing to reform the DPWH and the budget process so districts like mine can get the classrooms and hospitals that we need.
Yeah, and I'm very glad that you are pushing sa 2026 budget when it went through the House, that you reallocated those from the DPWH to education, to health, etc.
And I hope it will remain that way because, again,
How much yung na-realign mo?
there's a strong push to always increase the DPWH budget.
Yeah, especially during election time, the election year.
Because I think I previously said naman, the reason there's a classroom shortage is because there are less kickbacks in classrooms than flood control or road projects.
Yeah.
That's why within the DPWH budget,
Oo.
the people who want kickbacks will not insert classrooms. They will insert flood control, or if there's no more flood control, roads.
Bigger money making.
And just to give a context to why we're doing this, again, I apologize if there's anyone upset that we are investigating and calling out individuals in government who have DPWH contracts. But this began because when I was newly elected as congressman, I was trying to fulfill my promise to my constituents to increase the budget for my district, especially for the needed projects like classrooms and health centers. And palaging sinasabi sa mga humihingi ng extra budget na kulang na ang budget.
Yeah.
Limitado ang fiscal space.
Yeah.
Pero, pag kausapin mo yung mga malapit sa kusina, sabihin nila, pwede kang makakuha ng extra budget kung magbibigay ka ng advance na SOP. And until now, if I as a congressman want to get an additional budget for my district, if I talk to the right person, I can get an extra budget for my district if I pay for it. And logically, you would pay for it because you will earn from that insertion when it's added to your district. That's why the solution we're proposing is that for the current and future budgets, that it be allocated based on an equation so that there is no discretion. Because if there's discretion, people can say,
Yeah.
kailangan nitong distrito ng extra budget. Pero lahat naman kailangan ng extra budget. Pero pipiliin by temptation ang mga magbabayad para sa extra budget. So an equation already works for the allocation of the national tax allotment or internal revenue allotment. It's 50% population, 25% land area, and 25% equal sharing. And maybe if there was a discretion on allocating ERA to LGUs, there would also be the possibility of corruption. But because it's an equation, there's no discretion, there's no corruption. So that's my proposed solution to all of this. But in the meantime, we continue to
Also,
do background checks on government officials
Yeah.
because the system continues to be that kung may connection ka, may insertion ka, at either pwede mong ibenta ito sa isang contractor o ikaw na mismo pwede kang mag-set up ng sarili mong kumpanya na mangontrata sa DPWH.
May kaklaro lang ako kasi kamali yata kong dinig. Sabi mo, the solution we're proposing for the current budget or and future budget is on antiquation or equation.
Equation.
Equation, which is nga, as you explained, equation na, ano yung equation na yung 50%, 25%? Yung ba ibig mo sabihin?
Yes, that's how we already, under the local government code, already allocate budgets to LGUs,
Okay.
which is 50% population,
Oo.
25% equal
Land.
sharing,
Oh,
and 25% land area multiplied by the 40% of national taxes
ay, NTA.
fiscal years ago.
Okay.
That's how the NTA is
Oo.
computed. And the equation can factor in other factors like poverty,
Yeah.
disaster vulnerability. The point is to eliminate discretion, to eliminate opportunity for corruption.
And when you, how can you remove discretion when there is a required equation?
If there's an equation,
Oh.
then there won't be
May
a...
pattern na, baga. You just have to follow the pattern. Ganon.
Because Secretary Dizon in the budget hearing says that even he doesn't agree
Oh.
with the allocable
the new
budgets
term, the new
that were
favorite
given
term.
by former DPWH Undersecretary Catalina Cabral.
Oo.
Because, by the way, I would like to let this be known to government officials and members of Congress who might be listening to this. I did not supply PCIJ with the file on the list of allocable budgets
Teka muna, Congressman.
that they published of the outside allocable and other insertions that PCIJ published on Saturday.
Ano yung, how would
But-
you explain
but,
as allocable?
As was already explained by PCIJ, allocable is, to put it bluntly and for lack of a more precise way to put it,
Oh,
the pork barrel of each congressional district.
okay.
So the total allocable budget is 401 billion pesos,
Okay.
which was decided by the leadership of the DPWH in the time of Secretary Bonoan and Undersecretary Cabral.
Okay.
And the 401 billion pesos is not able to be explained to be based on population or land area, because there are districts half the size that get double the budget of bigger districts. And that's why, for the past few months, I have been advocating to change this system, because I represent a district that's in the top 10% in the country in terms of population, but we get half the budget of some districts with smaller population.
Bakit nangyayari yun?
Generally, NCR has the lowest budget per capita. Region 4A has the second lowest budget per capita. Maybe because
They can produce their own, generate their own revenue.
NCR can.
Yeah.
But Region 4A is actually one of the biggest victims here, because malaki din ang land area natin.
Oh, pero Calabarzon, mostly industrial yan eh, kaya they have more higher income.
But not all of it. For
Oo.
example, kawawa naman ang Quezon.
yeah.
And kawawa naman ang
Typhoon.
first district ng Batangas, ang aking distrito, na nangangailangan ng infrastructure kasi kami yung pinaka underdeveloped na district sa Batangas.
Okay.
Kaya para sa aking distrito, nananawagan nga ako na gawing mas prorata sa population ang allocation ng budget. Kasi nagkakataon, yung mga distrito na kokonti lang ang tao, may
Maraming
malalaking budget.
Oo. Kasi para industrial estates.
Hindi po, ma'am.
Hindi pa rin.
Nagkakataon din kasi,
Mas malakas yung congressman nila.
pasensya na, sasabihin ko to
Oo.
may correlation.
What?
Pag maraming contractor sa isang distrito, mas mataas ang kanilang allocable budget.
Okay. Parang ito yung magiging isang solution mo, produce more contractors.
Pero, yun nga kasi yung problema. Kung gusto mo makakuha ng additional budget, kailangan mong kausapin ang mga intermediaries sa Kongreso o sa DPWH at either magbayad ka o pumayag ka na sila ang pumili ng contractor. At bibigyan ka naman ng 5% parking fee. And by the way, people ask...
Iba pa yan, ha?
And people ask me, bakit ko ini-investigate si Congressman Garjola?
Oh.
Because I have first-hand experience.
Oh.
Because he offered to park projects in my district and to give me a parking fee. And I think the media can ask any member of Congress, particularly from the 19th Congress, that this practice is widespread, and maybe the majority of congressmen have had experience with contractors who have offered to park projects in their districts. And maraming mga congressmen, I would like to defend the perception of Congress here. Maraming congressman tutol sa practice na to. Kaya nga, kailangan nating i-reforma itong sistema kasi yung mga congressman na tutol sa korupsyon, sa parking ng project sa kanilang mga distrito, yung hindi pa nabibigyan ng budget, kasi kung walang lutuan ng bidding at kickback sa iyong distrito, ililipat na lang yung budget sa distrito kung saan may pinakamataas na kickback sa mga projects. That's what happens when there's discretion.
Ano, I'm flabbergasted by this kind of system that we have, corrupt system that we have. But I'm more the more disconcerting information that you rendered today is these contractors expand beyond the DPWH but to the rest of the executive branch, which unusually been quiet, except for the recent expose na farm to market road sa DA na before yun ang number one favorite nila, farm to pocket roads eh. Ngayon napunta sa flood control naman. So as a congressman, as a lawmaker, and you are saying that your fellow congressmen are tutol to this kind of corruption going on, but you cannot get away with it because it's the system, it's the practice. How can you, as I cannot say you're a lone wolf in the or the boy who cried wolf, yung natawag sa ng mga detractors mo, the lone wolf. But yesterday, at least the other day, at least 5 kayong young congressmen who stood up behind Kiko Barsaga. So how would you be able to convince the rest, the majority, to come with you in this advocacy to reform the system?
I think most congressmen will support, and therefore it would pass to reform the system for allocating budgets, because no one wants to have to allow a contractor to park a project and rig a bid for a substandard project in their district. Ang congressman din kasi ang matatamaan dyan. Kaya nga, tutol ang maraming congressman sa practice na yan kasi ayaw naman nilang lumabas sa kanilang mga distrito na sumusuporta sila sa corruption sa DPWH. And I believe that because of the political will that was launched by the President's declaration in his SONA na mahiya naman kayo, that the corruption in DPWH will now decrease but not yet be fully eliminated, and that we will just keep on working on this together with DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon to achieve a lot of progress on reducing corruption. And I would also like to mention, as I also wrote here, that our discussions with Secretary Dizon and his team have also produced another positive development, which is the lowering of the construction materials price data and detailed unit price analysis of DPWH, which the DPWH estimates will result in 60 billion pesos of savings. And this has already been much reported in the media. And I believe the proposal was to realign the savings from the DPWH into ED and DOH. And I hope that the final 2025 GAA will still,
No, 2026.
2026 GAA will still proceed with realigning the savings from the DPWH to education and health, and not to more projects prone to corruption in the DPWH. But I acknowledge I'm only one member of Congress, and maybe others would want to keep the DPWH budget untouched in amount. But in my opinion, the DPWH budget should be cut and the savings realigned to education and health, as the President said would be done with the savings from removing the budget for flood control. And even if it remains in the DPWH, I hope that the budget can at least be used for classrooms and health centers, which are also implemented by DPWH. And again, just to declare my own intention here, I'm doing this for my district because we have double the population of many other districts.
How many
And
population ng first district?
almost 700,000 population, the 419,000 voting population. And the reason, again, because there are many who are against my calling for reform of the system. But the reason that I have to do this is because kailangan ng aking distrito ng classrooms and health centers, lalo na dahil malaki ang aming populasyon. Pero
Gaano ang shortage niya sa classroom?
actually, the DepEd had a statement last month that Calabarzon has the biggest classroom shortage. Out of the 165,000 classroom shortage nationwide, if I'm not mistaken, the data was around 30,000 classrooms ang shortage ng Calabarzon lang. Kasi nga, Calabarzon ang may pinakamalaking populasyon, pero
Little budget.
hindi naman pinakamalaki ang aming budget. Kasi baka hindi kontraktor, baka kasi kulang ang mga kontraktor na galing sa Calabarzon.
Oh, yeah, walang matap silang ano.
Pero, kaya ko din inimbestigahan ang mga projects ni Congressman Garjola kasi malaking bahagi ng mga projects ng Calabarzon at ng Batangas at ng aking distrito ay ginagawa ng mga kumpanyang konektado sa kanya.
Ilang kumpanya niya?
In 2025, there's 794 million pesos of projects by two companies of Congressman Garjola.
Sa Calabarzon?
Just in my district.
In your district?
Yes. I already shared the list with the media in my briefing that there are over 22 billion pesos in projects from the 2025 National Expenditure Program that were grouped together or labeled in a way that indicated that there was a pre-assignment or pre-ordering of projects in 2024, which ended up being awarded to companies linked to Congressman Garjola in 2025. And this included projects in my district, others in Batangas, and many other provinces like Laguna, Cavite, Bataan, Negros Oriental, Bohol, Palawan. And the connection of this back to the budget is kulang na nga ang budget, tapos kinukuha pa ng mga contractor na bumibili ng budget kaya ino-overprice ang mga project. And the one who is affected by this all, of course, is for example, the people in my district who need additional classrooms and health centers. So again, I would like to apologize for those who think that we are breaking new ground in terms of calling for investigations on a colleague in Congress. But kung hindi lang sana apektado ang aking distrito, ayoko naman pong gumawa ng mga kaaway. Pero sa akin po, I have to do what I believe is right. And I'm thankful that it appears that we are making progress, but that perhaps there are some respects where the progress we are making is still not enough.
With all these things you're telling me about Rep. Garjola, pray and tell me, why did you do that selfie with him the other day or yesterday?
Yes. This was the first time that I saw Congressman Garjola for maybe the last 3 months.
Wow.
Because he has not been attending
Sa session.
the plenary session.
Oh.
And
After 3 months.
yes,
Baka di bang kilala nung first few days kaya di mo nakikita? You know him personally before?
no, I would like to also clarify one thing.
Oh.
Seatmates kami sa Congress.
Oh, really?
Kasi yung video
Oo.
looks like sinundan ko siya.
Oo, pero nandun ka sa kapila.
Pumunta lang ako sa aking assigned seat,
Oo.
na yung assigned seat ko is 1 seat away from his.
Yeah, oo.
So, actually, people can see that on our
Yeah.
name tags on the
Yes,
tables.
Yes.
And this is the first time that I saw him attend the plenary session in 3 months.
So you met him at
So,
pababa pa lang.
by the way,
Nagsiselfie na kayo. Nagsiselfie.
It was not planned.
Okay.
Because congressmen were asked to attend session to vote on the suspension of Congressman Barzaga. That's why there was a high attendance on session on Monday.
Oh.
And for whatever reason, it was the first time that I saw Congressman Garjola in the plenary session for 3 months. And when I entered the hallway, he was right there. So, it was the first time that I saw him in the plenary session in 3 months. My instinct was to capture the moment. And I tried to talk to him
Yes.
because I talked to him on the phone of another member of Congress right as we were starting these statements. And he said, usap tayo kasama ni Speaker. But he never got back to me because then I made the public comments, and I believe na hindi naman siya pro-protectionan ni Speaker. But he invited me to meet him in Congress. And I
Who
tried,
he invited?
on the phone, he told me, mag-usap tayo
Yun
kasama ni
sabi
Speaker.
niya. Okay.
As I already previously said. But he didn't get back to me.
Oo.
And then when I saw him in the hallway, I tried to talk to him.
Oo, okay.
And then when he walked to his seat, I just walked to my seat.
Okay.
But I would be keen to know what his response is to the allegations that companies connected to him got over 20 billion pesos in
Sa distrito mo.
projects from the DPWH just in 2025, and that it seemed to have been under a scheme prearranged with the DPWH central office. So I brought the same to the ICI, so I would like to confirm that I have gone through the process of going to the ICI and the field investigation team of the Office of the Ombudsman proactively reached out to me and visited my office, and I also shared the same findings with them. And I would like to take this opportunity to give credit to the ICI and the Ombudsman. Based on my interactions, they are sincere and really want to deliver results on the investigation on DPWH projects. But I foresee that a difficulty will be obtaining evidence linking the proponents to the contractors awarded projects. And that's why I gave the list of proponents of projects linked to Congressman Garjola from the DPWH Central Office to ICI and Ombudsman, and they said that this was the first time that they saw a list of proponents of projects from the DPWH. Because I believe the boxes of documents that the ICI referred to the Ombudsman, and I would like to thank the ICI and the Ombudsman for quickly acting on referring a case on Congressman Garjola to the Ombudsman, because the first time that we visited the ICI, spokesman Hosaka said it was the first time that Garjola's name was mentioned.
When did you give that to the ICI?
When I visited them.
When was that?
For the
Filing.
if I'm not mistaken, November 18,
Oo.
and then the filing was the week after. So I visited the ICI. Spokesman Hosaka said it was the first time that Garjola was mentioned, and a week later, they referred the case on him to the Ombudsman. So I would like to thank the ICI for the quick action, and the Ombudsman for, even before the referral of the ICI to them, for reaching out to me to ask for evidence.
Because that was the time na nasabi mo na yung pangalan niya.
Yes, and again, I'd like to thank the media for also helping this. And some people are saying that this should not be done. But we won't be able to hold the people behind the questioned DPWH projects to account unless there is public attention on all of this.
Yeah.
So, sorry, to go back to why I took a selfie with Congressman Garjola. To recap, it was the first time that I saw him in the plenary session after 3 months. He was in the middle of the entrance when I walked in, and then I walked to my seat, which is next to his seat. And I tried to talk to him because he told me on the phone previously that mag-usap tayo kasama ni Speaker. And if I can express, I was hoping to hear him respond to the allegations.
He responded with a special statement denouncing you for posting it in your Facebook.
Yes, so I'm saying I was hoping that he will respond to the allegations.
Oh.
And instead, what I saw is that he attended session and walked around the session hall talking to other members of Congress as if nothing happened, as if it was normal for someone to be accused of billions of pesos of corruption and not give any explanation or response to the allegations. And if I can just be a little candid, I'm disappointed that others in Congress were acting on the floor as if that was totally normal too. And that might have been one of the effects of Congressman Garjola attending plenary session for the first time on Monday to show that it showed that Congressman Garjola is unperturbed by the allegations that he has not yet responded to, and that others in Congress do not see anything wrong with it because Congressman Garjola was walking around talking to other members of Congress as if being alleged to unduly benefit from billions of pesos of DPWH contracts is normal in Congress.
Baka he felt he's in the same House of House of Representatives. He's in the farm, the members of the, kaya ganun siya. Di ba? Ganun ang mentality ngayon.
Kayo na po yung nagsabi nun, ma'am. Pero, ang ginawa ko naman, I voted against the suspension of Congressman Barzaga and explained my vote by citing that Congressman Garjola was there to vote to suspend Congressman Barzaga. And I did not intend to give that statement.
Yeah.
I only wrote that statement after I saw that he was there. And I found it tragic that inuna pa natin ang kaso ni Congressman Barzaga bago umaksyon ang Kongreso sa mga congressman, bago umaksyon ang Kongreso sa mga alegasyon, kahit gumawa ng investigasyon tungkol sa mga alegasyon sa mga DPWH projects ni Congressman Garjola. Ang dahilan na si Congressman Barzaga ay sinuspinde sa House of Representatives ay siya daw ay unbecoming of a member of Congress. Para lang po malinaw, hindi naman po nakalagay sa rules specifically na mas egregious ang social media posts kaysa sa alleged corruption sa DPWH. It is the discretion of Congress to prioritize one matter over another. And again, this was the first time since the October 13 approval of the 2026 budget that there were this many members of Congress who were asked to attend session because it was so important that we suspend Congressman Barzaga. Because some people are saying, pwede namang isabay pero the Public Works Committee of Congress is not investigating the projects of Congressman Garjola. And the Ethics Committee has it in its power to also sanction or say that those who are alleged of wrongdoing in DPWH are also unbecoming of Congress. Pero inuna na nga ang kaso ni Congressman Barzaga, si Congressman Garjola ay nandun pa para bumoto na isuspend si Congressman Barzaga.
Kung ganyan nangyari, baka nawala kayong quorum dahil nga, di ba, panay sila na under investigation. Kaya, it's so funny, and yet, it hurts to smile or even laugh about it when only 5 of you stood up for Congressman Barzaga. You were outvoted. The tyranny of numbers overruled your own representation.
By the way, I know that a lot of people have mixed opinions on Congressman Barzaga, and I'm not saying he's perfect.
Yes.
Ang sinasabi ko lang, kung ang dahilan ng Kongreso na sinuspindi siya ay dahil nakakahiya sa Kongreso ang mga social media posts niya, sa tingin ko, sang-ayon ang karamihan sa akin na mas nakakahiya na ang imahe ng Kongreso ay marami sa atin ay sangkot sa korupsyon sa DPWH.
Yes. Without you saying that directly,
Ang
that's the message.
Ang ibig kong sabihin na lang po, kahit na sabihin ninyo na nakakahiya ang ilang mga ginagawa ni Congressman Barzaga, mas nakakahiya naman ang ginagawa ng iba. At dapat unahin natin ang mga pinaka nakakahiya.
Yeah. I understand you, but your fellow, the tyranny of numbers.
But again, I would like to thank Congress for allowing us to express our reasons for voting against his suspension. Although Congressman Toby Chanco tried to have a interpellation
Yes.
on the measure, the committee report was only given to us a few minutes before the vote.
Yeah.
Congressman Toby Chanco wanted at least interpellation
Discussion,
on what was given to us,
Yeah.
but we proceeded to the vote. But at least after the vote, and I cited the lack of discussion on the matter as one reason also not to vote for it, even if you agreed with it, there was just no discussion on the floor about it, that at least we were allowed
Yeah.
to express our opinion on the vote.
Ano, before open it to the floor, let's have some good news sa'yo. Kasi ngayon, nagtatalo sa 500 peso Noche Buena. And I was told that you are giving away Christmas baskets for your constituents, more than that amount, and you have in fact given out your own money, 1,000 peso each for students in your congressional district. Out of your own pocket also.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. And I transferred shares of my company to a foundation that will serve as a perpetual source of funding, particularly for the educational assistance to students in my district and relief for typhoon victims. And that stated number is 6 billion pesos for educational assistance and typhoon victims under the Lingkod Legarda Leviste Foundation. The reason why I feel fortunate that I can investigate corruption in the DPWH is because I have never and will never receive kickbacks or commissions from DPWH projects. And despite that, even going out of my own pocket,
Yeah.
because I feel very fortunate that at a young age, I was able to have earned enough in business, and my focus now is on using that to help those who are not as fortunate as me. And last year din po, nagbigay ako ng mga Noche Buena packages sa bawat pamilya sa aking distrito, at nakita ko how happy they were na meron panghanda sa Pasko. Ayoko naman na Pasko kahit sino sa aking distrito na walang handa na Noche Buena.
I know it's very close to your heart. So I congratulate you for your kind heart, and to the less fortunate and victims of calamities. Di ba yung Batangas recently devastated also by typhoon?
Yes, just like many other provinces. And natin nakakagalit yung mga sirang flood control projects kasi doon nagsimula ang ating investigation sa DPWH na may 3 major rivers sa aking distrito, at sa lahat ng mga ilog na ito na may mga flood control projects na nasira.
Well, ano ko muna ng tubig, sir, para ano tayo ng iyong ano. So the floor is now open for your questions, which I seriously doubt. Nagtatanong pa kayo sa ganda ng kanyang communication skills. The message is strongly communicated to the public down. Kasi Inglesero to, pero Tagalog, pinipilit niya mag-Tagalog. Kaya, alam mo namang hirap na hirap mag-Tagalog, pero taal na Batanggenyo.
Sir, good morning. Lawrence Tanhong, Radyo Pilipinas. Sir, linawin ko lang yung binanggit nyo kanina about dun sa parking ng budget sa district nyo ni Congressman Garjola. And tama po ba na inofera niya kayo? Could you please, for recording purposes?
Yes. In fact, nagbigay siya sa akin ng listahan ng mga proyekto na isinumite niya sa DPWH. And on the same day, sinabi din ng district engineer ng aking distrito sa aking staff na nakakuha sila ng listahan mula kay Congressman Garjola at ito po ay for funding ng DPWH. At kung lumabas itong proyekto, ang arrangement sa DPWH ay kay Congressman Garjola ito, kaya in practice that means siya ang pipili ng contractor. At dahil hindi ko papakialaman ang bidding sa kanyang proyekto, meron akong parking fee. Pero tutol po tayo dito. Pero ang lumabas ay dahil tutol ako sa practice na ito, hindi binibigyan ng extra budget ang aking distrito. Kaya pasensya na lang po sa mga natatamaan sa mga ginagawa kong investigasyon. Pero ito po ay dahil nga naranasan ko ang offer for parking na ito at dahil hindi ako tumatanggap ng hindi ako pumapayag sa practice na ito, yung mga distrito na walang lutuan ng bidding at walang kickback, sila pa ang hindi binibigyan ng budget. Kaya ako po nilalabas ito para sana sa mga susunod na mga budget, hindi na po gagawin ito.
Sir, pwedeng malaman kung magkano yung offer sa inyo tsaka magkano yung pinark na budget sa inyo?
Ang SOP po ay 5% para sa parking at sinabi ko nga po na sa 2025 budget, meron 6 na proyekto, 794 million pesos sa Calatagan at sa Tuy, Batangas na nagmula pa sa NEP ng DPWH na eventually na-award kay Congressman Garjola at sa mga kumpanyang konektado kay Congressman Garjola at get din ito sa report ng Rappler, kinausap ko si Congressman Garjola pagkatapos ng eleksyon kung maari wag na niyang ibigay ang 5% parking fee sa tinalo kong congressman, pero sinabi niya, binigay na niya ito bago mag-eleksyon. I will stand by the statement. Sinabi niya sa akin, ibinigay na niya ang 5% parking fee sa tinalo kong congressman bago mag-eleksyon.
Who is that?
Si Congressman Eric Buhain.
Okay.
Kaya din, sa Kongreso, mauunawaan to ng mga kasamahan ko. Pag ilaparan ka ng isang congressman o ng isang supporter ng isang congressman, unawaan nila na pwede ko namang ng ginagawa ko. But it speaks to a wider systemic issue that DPWH contractors are the biggest funders of the campaigns of politicians nationwide. And that's why it's difficult for the government to hold to account big DPWH contractors and the congressmen who are also proponents of these projects because kung sabi ni Ombudsman na 10%
ng Kongreso
ay ngayong iniimbestigahan, yung 10% na yan pagbigay sa mas marami pa. Ayoko naman na sabihin na lahat ganito. Maraming mga mabubuting congressman na tutol dito.
Kaya nagpo-pwersa lang sa dahil. That's the
Opo.
system.
Kaya nga,
Kalakaran.
sabi ni Congressman Toby Chanco, meron din sa gasa. Kahit na hindi ka pumayag sa parking, mag-uusap na lang yung magpa-park sa DPWH District Engineer. Kahit ayaw ng congressman yan, lumalabas din ang project at ina-award sa kanya. Kaya si former President GMA ay nag-statement nga na meron insertion sa district ko at para sa kaalaman ng publiko, hindi ako pumayag sa project na ito. Kaya dumadami na rin ang mga nagpapahayag sa publiko, pero mas marami pa ang privately tutol sa practice na ito.
Siguro sir, sa akin last na lang, baka may panawagan kayo sa kapwa congressman nyo na lumabas na or natatakot ba sila kasi baka mawalan sila ng budget? Go ahead, sir.
Well, I would like to thank Congress for allowing me to speak freely on this topic. Kasi, ma'am, pinipili naman natin yung mga nasa public interest, di ba?
Yeah.
Hindi naman to in pursuit of individual for private interest, but for public interest, di ba?
Personal glory.
So hindi naman po kailangan manggaling sa akin ang panawagan kasi naniniwala po ako na karamihan ng aking mga kasamahan ay tutol sa practice na ito. Ang makakatulong kung ang mga kasamahan natin ay magbigay ng ebidensya sa ICI at sa Ombudsman. Kasi ako po ay bagong miyembro ng Kongreso lang. Siyempre, mas maraming alam yung mga matagal na sa Kongreso. At baka nahihiya ang iba dahil may pinagsamahan tayo sa ating mga kasamahan.
Yeah.
O baka ayaw nilang maging subject of media attention din. Kaya pwede naman nila ibigay na lang ang kanilang ebidensya direkta sa ICI at sa Ombudsman kahit walang attention ng media. At sa report naman ng Rappler, sinabi nila may iba pang mga congressman na nakausap sila na nagbigay din ng info sa Rappler. Ako lang po yung willing na ma-name
On the record.
on the record. Pero iyan po ay pruweba na marami din naman pong tutol sa practice na ito.
Thank you po.
At pag ipakita natin na ang Kongreso ay umaaksyon laban sa korupsyon kahit na sa sarili nating kasamahan, ito po ay sana makakatulong sa pagpapabuti ng imahe ng Kongreso even more so than yung pagsuspende ng ilang mga miyembro ng Kongreso.
Ito, Congressman, kahapon ang report ng AFP spokesperson, kasi di ba, dineputize ng ICI, AFP, and PNP to help them locate all these DPWH projects. And she announced, or disclosed yesterday, out of the 1,200 DPWH projects that they're conducting ocular inspection, on-site inspection, they found at least 252 ghost projects across the country.
Actually, ma'am, meron akong data dito.
Windang sa mga numbers units lang yan hindi pa yung peso worth ng projects. Pero mo, out of 1,200 projects,
Ma'am, ang numbers that I have from the AFP's audit, there are 421 ghost flood control projects so far
Updated na yan.
identified
Oo.
with a combined total cost of 29 billion 759 million 238,145 and 21 centavos. And meron pong listahan naman na pwedeng ilabas nila sa publiko.
Oo.
Pero ito po kasi yung focus ng ICI ngayon,
yung 252.
yung mga ghost projects. And kaya ang ICI din pumunta sa opisina ko para tignan ang listahan na nakuha ko mula sa DPWH ng mga proponents
Oo.
ng mga proyekto kasi doon lang sa pinakita ko sa kanila, nakita nila na ang mga proponents ng mga proyekto.
Okay.
Hi po. Hi, sir.
Pero ang point ko dyan is 29.75 billion pesos. That's 1% of the projects of DPWH over the past 3 years. So, ang iniimbestigahan lang pala ng ICI
Oo.
ay primarily ang ghost projects na 1% ng DPWH budget. I, again, believe that they have very good intentions, and the problem is they're not being given enough access to the documents so that they can find the proponents for the rest of the projects. Because the problem is not flood control.
Oo.
The problem is the system of allocating the DPWH budget and subsequent rigging of bids resulting in kickbacks.
Yeah.
So if the internal files with the proponents can be released, then there can be a more widespread investigation on not just the 1%, but the what former Yusek Bernardo said is the almost 100% of bids in DPWH that are rigged.
Yeah, ang narinig ko pa kahapon, yung when they searched the DPWH, the office of DPWH, Yusek Cabral, they found that the computers were no longer there. Kaya yung records, difficulty of your saying na...
Yes, and that's why I've already said this, but I'll say it again. I'm thankful that I was given the files from the office of Yusek Cabral on September 4.
Sino nagbigay sa'yo, sir?
I first met Yusek Cabral in June,
Oo.
and then wrote to her asking for the files that we discussed regarding the budget of each congressional district. And this wasn't released during the time of Secretary Bonoan, but then when Secretary Bonoan resigned August 31 and Secretary Dizon came in September 1,
Oo.
Yusek Cabral tendered a courtesy resignation. I worried that maybe kung mawala na si Yusek Cabral, mawala na rin ang kanyang files.
Yeah.
That's why I set a meeting with Director Alex Bote from the office of Yusek Cabral, which is planning
Yeah.
in the central office. And I met with Yusek Cabral on September 4, and she called Secretary Dizon to authorize the release of the files to me. So I'm very thankful that I got these files.
Ahead. Kasi nawala na eh, mga computers eh.
Yes. So maybe more can be said about this another time, but it would be good for the DPWH to preserve the files of Yusek Cabral, the Cabral files.
I hope you preserve that file because you might not know, magkaroon din ng sunog sa Kongreso, sa Senate, nagkasunog na. Just a fair warning.
Mas maraming mawawala sa pagbura ng mga computer files kaysa sa pagsunog ng mga printed documents. Kaya malaking worry ko nga na umalis si Yusek Cabral, nabanggit nga ng ICI, cordoned off ang kanyang office. By the way, spokesman Hosaka responded to a media question on this and said that he did not see the office cordoned off because he said that he started in ICI September 21, if I'm not mistaken, or
Kaya wala na.
third week of September. I went to Yusek Cabral's office on September 4. She was already packing her things then. And it was a lawyer in ICI in my meeting with Commissioner Singson and Chair Reyes in the ICI who said that when they went to Yusek Cabral's office before spokesman Hosaka joined the ICI, it was cordoned off. And then when they came, they were not given any more access to the computers or the files.
Yeah. Mas nauna pa nagkaroon ng sunog sa Mimaropa ng DPWH Region 4. Kasunod-sunod na
But-
ngayon.
Can I just say one more time?
Yeah.
Napaka-overwhelming ang mga problems at ibang mga bad news tungkol sa corruption sa DPWH.
Yeah.
But I would like to take this opportunity for the nth time to thank Secretary Vince Dizon for two things. First, that after on October 16, I said that appointees in DPWH are linked to or are contractors. He took quick action and removed Yusek Ari Perez, who is close to Congressman Garjola, and an assistant secretary and a director who were brought in by Yusek Ari Perez, who are contractors based on documents that have been uncovered, and that Secretary Dizon is true to what he said, that he will not allow anyone in his team to be a contractor.
On that point, meron tayong hope. May reason for hope,
Yes.
at least.
And that he lowered the price of the DPWH projects
By 50% at least.
up to 50, but the savings is 60 billion, which is around 10% of the budget.
Na-realign na.
Better than nothing, but baka pwedeng ibaba pa. Pero at least we have a start, and sana ma-realign yung 60B para sa mga magagandang projects.
Hindi ka ba nag-volunteer to become a member of the BICAM sa budget 2026?
Baka maraming may ayaw na nasa BICAM ako.
Oh, pero hindi ka pa na-designate.
Maraming ayaw na nasa BICAM ako.
Hindi, pero I mean, designate na ba yung BICAM members? Wala pa. So, wala pa.
I'm not
Kasi once
thinking
na-approve
about
yung
that
budget, they will designate the members for the BICAM.
kung ako lang po ang masusundan, lipat na lang natin yung budget ng DPWH sa mga LGU.
Teka muna, teka lang, kasi go through muna tayo sa regular budget process. So, pag na-approvehan ng Senate yan,
Tapos yung savings sana manatili sa edukasyon at sa health.
you do that in the future, ha, sir, Congressman. Pero itong ang concern ko, 2026 budget.
Yung pag-aawayin kasi yung savings,
Oo.
kung manatili sa DPWH o kung i-realign sa
Yes.
education at health.
Kaya you can do more action if you are in the BICAM itself.
Opo.
Pero, di ba, in-open na live streaming din ng BICAM. Even if you are not a member, kaya nga, ang disadvantage mo, you cannot,
Sa tingin ko, hindi naman magiging problema ang BICAM dahil kung may bentahan ng project sa DPWH, ang kasabihan, ang term po is kargado na
okay.
mula pa lang sa NEP.
Oh.
Kaya napakagaling ng mga Pilipino. Noon, nahuli ang mga insertion sa BICAM.
Yeah.
Tapos, sa House at sa Senate amendments. Ngayon, kargado sa NEP pa lang at ang opisyal na pahayag ay ang mga proyektong ito ay panukala ng mga planning engineers ng DPWH, pero ayon sa listahan mula sa central office ng DPWH, meron proponent sa bawat isa sa mga proyekto sa DPWH. At ito po yung sinabi ko last week na there is 721 billion pesos of insertions in the 2025 DPWH NEP and
2025 or 2026?
2025
Okay.
and 496 billion in insertions in the 2026 DPWH NEP, because if you define an insertion as a project with a proponent, particularly who is not from the DPWH alone, then the internal files of DPWH will show may
Kargado na.
may proponent sa bawat proyekto. Pero hindi ito inaamin in public. Ang sinasabi daw, planning engineer ang gumawa.
So, yun ang, maski naman live stream pa yung BICAM na yan, para bang sarsuela na lang.
By the way, walang nagde-deny sa sinasabi ko ha, na kargado sa NEP pa lang
Oo.
at meron listahan na may mga pangalan. Can I take the opportunity to say, may isang taong nirespeto ko na may nakita akong tweet. Why does Leandro Leviste have so much impunity and get away with saying all these things?
Oo. Why?
Alam niyo po bakit?
Yes.
Marami akong alam. Marami akong hawak na mga dokumento at ebidensya kasama ang mga listahan na nandoon ang pangalan ng napakaraming mga tao sa gobyerno na hindi lang congressman at senador.
But you arrive here on angkas, not even, meron bang, security? You arrive with uncash, unsecured, and you are daredevil, my dear.
Trying to be useful.
How can we groom you for some higher position in the future if you are so careless with your safety first?
I will take your advice, ma'am, and not angkas anymore. Pero importante, ma'am, na makarating dito as early as I could. So,
Yeah,
so
kasi
thank you.
umiiwas ka lang sa traffic.
Opo.
Saka di lang nakalain yung pogi pa lang na yung nakasakay eh.
Opo.
Naka-helmet ka naman.
Ngayon, ma'am, na sinabi,
Naka-helmet ba siya?
na sinabi nyo na nag-aangkas ako, hindi na ako mag-aangkas, baka
Yeah.
abangan na ako na naka-angkas.
Sabi, naka-Amerikana pa man din.
Kasi,
Tapos naka-angkas. Ano ba yan?
Maraming nagpapayo sa akin sa aking personal safety eh. Pero, alam nyo, kung papatayin ako dahil dito, una, sana lalong mabawasan ang korupsyon sa DPWH dahil it proves that there's really something wrong going on there. But two, happy naman po ako na sa aking murang edad, I earned what I did sa business. Tapos ngayon, ibinabalik ko sa mga
Taong
estudyante
bayan.
at sa mga typhoon victims. Ngayon sa Congress, I'm very happy that we worked fruitfully with Secretary Dizon to remove contractors and to save 60 billion per their estimates in the DPWH budget. And kung mamatay naman ako, at least yung assets ko, ipapamigay
Nasa
naman
foundation.
sa mga estudyante sa aking distrito at sa iba pang mga distrito. Kaya napakaswerte naman ng mga estudyante na yan kung papatayin ako ng kontraktor.
On a lighter note, how does your good mother, Senator Laura Legarda, has been reacting to this bombshells that you have been throwing grenades there and everything?
Palagi niya akong galitan dahil hindi ako dapat daw makipag-away, lalo na sa aking mga kasamahan sa Kongreso.
Oo.
At marami sa mga kasamahan niya, kasamahan ko ay mga kaibigan niya.
Oo.
At sinasabihan siya na si Leandro na naman may bagong nilalabas. Actually, alam din ng mga kasamahan ko sa Kongreso na hindi ko naman sinusundan ng nanay ko. Kasi tuloy-tuloy pa akong naglalabas ng mga informasyon tulad nito eh. Kaya mabuti na lang na hindi nila sinisisi ang aking ina. Dahil alam naman nila na sinasabihan naman niya ako, huwag makipag-away, pero I'm thankful that I have this opportunity. And again, question is, bakit wala pang gumaganti sa akin?
Oh.
Baka kasi napakarami kong mga hawak na mga dokumento.
Akala ko marami kang angels and saints
Ma'am,
behind you.
hindi lang Cabral files ang hawak ko
Oh.
Insertions, hawak ko din.
That's your immunity.
Kasi sa ngayon, napaka-interesado ang taong bayan sa salitang insertion.
Yeah.
Yung iba nga, hindi nila alam ano yung insertion.
Then,
Basta, ang alam nila, masama.
Oh,
Pero,
it was given a bad name actually. It
pero,
was-
magugulat ang taong bayan pag ilalabas, o kung ilalabas, ang listahan ng mga insertions. Kasi, uulitin ko po ang sinabi ko sa isang interview. Hindi lang congressman at senador
Yeah.
ang may insertion. Halos buong gobyerno
Yeah.
ay may insertion.
sabi mo nga, kargado.
Pati ang
NBP.
cabinet secretary at undersecretary may insertion. At hindi lang congressman ang contractor. Meron din undersecretary na contractor. At yung pumapasok sa gobyerno na hindi pa contractor, nagiging contractor nung nasa gobyerno na sila. Kasi syempre, maraming gustong kumita. At kung contractor ka at may insertion ka, sa'yo na yung kita.
Actually, there's nothing wrong with insertions. In more legal parlance yan, amendments. Kaya lang, it is given a bad name because on how you use it. If you use it for ghost project, for substandard, and you packeting most of the value, that's bad. Di ba?
Yes,
As
I
long as
think
you use it properly and beneficial to the people.
the
Good.
essential problem of DPWH is the rigging of bids.
Yeah.
Because kung tunay na open bidding sa DPWH, kahit na may insertion, hindi ka pwedeng kumikbak kasi dapat kahit sino pwedeng makipaglaban sa chosen bidder mo. At kahit na ano yung presyo sa budget, kung competitive bidding, pwede pang ibaba yung presyo. Kasi sa pribadong sektor, kung meron kang approved budget for contract, baka minus 30% ang deviation. Pero sa DPWH, napapansin ng mga tao, puro 2%, 5% ang deviation from approved budget for contract.
Saka-
Yun ang pruweba na walang open bidding sa
Tsaka may
DPWH.
mga 2% sa COA, may 2% sa resident ombudsman. Mga
Opo,
ganun,
pero
diba? May mga
mahirap na i-prove yan kung walang mga whistleblower.
Yeah.
Tulad nila Bryce Hernandez at Henry Alcantara. Pero ang sinasabi ko po ay the mere fact alone na kung may 100 million peso approved budget for contract ka at 98 million pesos ang winning bid ay signal na luto ang bid. Kasi kung may tunay na competitive bidding, bakit naman puro 99, 98, 97 ang bid, 'di ba? At
Very
yung
close.
yung ginawa ni former DPWH Secretary Rogelio Singson sa panahon niya ay kung may bid na hindi 10% ang deviation from approved budget contract, nire-reject niya, pinaparibid niya.
Alam mo, unusual to. Napakatahimik ng mga reporters because they are so awed with you. O, Mads,
Sir, hello po. Yan. Mads po from Net25. Sir, yung binabanggit mo kanina na 420 plus insertion sa budget ng DPWH for 2026, yun po ba yung allocables na binabanggit nyo?
Hindi
Or
po.
different pa?
Sabi ko, I think 496 billion and the allocable is 401 billion. And nasa public domain na ang list of allocable budget per district. Aking distrito, 1.373 billion ang allocable budget. Yung ibang distrito, 2.5B. Kaya sabi ko, lugi naman ang mga taga Batangas. Di ba? Kaya ang non-allocable naman ay allocable din. In fact, ang minsan tawag sa DPWH ay outside allocable. Kasi yung allocable refers only to yung allocable sa district congressman. Pero yung projects proposed, for example, by party list, senators, and the central office ng DPWH ay lahat nilumped together sa non-allocable na walang disclosure on sino yung nagbaba. In fact, tinatanong nga ng mga congressman minsan, "Oy, bakit may project ako dito? Sino yung naglagay nito?" Walang nagsasabi sa congressman sino yung proponent. Pero, ang lumalabas, may listahan ang DPWH. Kaya, magandang reforma kung sa mga susunod na mga budgets, i-disclose ang proponent kasi meron proponent ang bawat proyekto, lalo na sa non-allocable na dito din po yung tinatawagang leadership fund insertions.
ayun ba yung
So, sir,
leadership fund?
Opo.
Yung allocable na to, hindi na siya pwedeng tanggalin, pero yung budget insertion, may chance pa ba na matanggal yun? Or pag-asa na lang natin sa Senate?
Kung budget nga ay puno ng insertions at the least that can be done is to disclose sino yung proponent at alin na mga proyekto ito. Kasi ayaw naman sabihin na tanggalin yung proyekto. Hindi nga din-disclose ano yung mga proyekto na yon. Pero makikita naman po, ma'am, sa budget, alin ang mga lugar na biglang lumaki ang budget at ibig sabihin dun ang non-allocable kasi set nga yung allocable mo eh. So kung may region na lumaki ang budget, ibig sabihin nadagdagan ng budget at mabuti kung ipaliwanag bakit sa lahat ng mga lugar dyan naglagay ng extra budget. Pero ang lumalabas nga po, ma'am, may correlation. Kung saan maraming contractor, doon malaki ang budget.
And yung isa raw sa biggest is the presidential side.
Hindi po. Actually, I would like to clarify. Yung nilabas kasi ng
TCIJ.
TCIJ is a table on the allocable budget per district, which is 401 billion pesos. But the 2025 GAA is 1 trillion. Ibig sabihin, 60% of the budget is non-allocable based on that formulation. And if you look at the districts that have the biggest non-allocable, nasa PCIJ naman po ito. That's Oriental Mindoro, Occidental Mindoro, and Albay. Kaya yung total GAA per district table would show that yung top 3 district in terms of budget per district, whether allocable or non-allocable, is Oriental Mindoro, Occidental Mindoro, and Albay in the 2025 budget.
Okay.
Copa din, sir. Albay.
Ko, Albay, Bicol. Ako, Bicol.
Hindi ko po alam kasi hindi nilalabas
Bicol,
yung mga
Saro.
proponent eh.
Pare-pare, ako, Bicol,
Pero-
Bicol, Saro.
Kaya, importante na lumabas din yung mga proponent. And in fact, si Congressman Toby Chanco ay nagpapanukala na ilabas ito ng House of Representatives kasi din ay makakatulong sa mga district congressman para malaman ng tao na hindi naman kanila ang mga park projects. Kasi ang assumption natin, kung malaki ang budget ng isang distrito, kay congressman yan. For lack of any other data, pero yung case of Oriental Mindoro, Occidental Mindoro, and Albay, hindi naman yung district congressman yung nag-park nitong mga projects. And I'm not saying in this occasion that may masamang nangyari sa mga projects na yan. But we're just calling for transparency on mga proponents ng mga budget insertions.
Ang ano ko lang yung leadership fund, di ba yung Lakers? Saan mabas yung leadership fund? Saan yung nakita?
Ang listahan na nakuha ko sa DPWH na may mga proponents ay meron mga projects na nakatag as leadership.
Oo, ano
So,
yan?
si Yusek Cabral lang ang makapagpaliwanag. Sino yung si leadership?
Hindi niya nilagay kung sino yun.
Yung ilang mga files, mga projects, may pangalan.
Oo,
Yung iba naman may code name.
oo,
Iba-ibang mga code name.
oo.
Pwede niyang ipaliwanag. Pero napansin ko nga, may isang code name, CENTI 20 billion of projects na punta sa mga proyekto na konektado kay Congressman Garjola.
Oo,
Pero may iba ding mga code name.
oo.
Tapos may isang code name,
Yung leadership,
leadership.
how much nga yun?
I wouldn't want to pinpoint the amount of just one tag kasi
Oo.
iba-iba yung mga tag eh.
Pero sabi mo marami eh.
Kasi may leadership 1, may leadership 2.
May ganong designation.
Alam mo, napaka-kompleto ang mga files ni
Oo,
Yusek Cabral.
oo.
Kaya mabuti po kung tulad ni Yusek Bernardo, si Yusek Cabral ang maging star witness
Oo.
sa mga DPWH inquiries.
So right now, hindi pa siya, she's nowhere to be found.
Pero nasa kanya talaga ang susi para malaman ng taong bayan ang katotohanan sa mga insertions sa 2025 budget.
Okay.
Sir.
Meron
Sir
pa ba kayo?
Lawrence, pasingit po ulit. Sir, expound lang po natin konti dun sa sa parking fee na inoffer ni Congressman Garjola sa inyo. Paano yun, sir? Ba't kayo na-offeran, kakapasok nyo lang po ng
Hindi, para sa mga bagong projects.
2026? Go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry to have to share this, but nagbigay siya ng listahan sa akin at nagbigay din siya ng listahan sa district engineer ng DPWH at yung district engineer na yun, nag-message sa aking staff, kakatawag niya lang sa akin, tumawag naman ng district engineer sa aking staff, ibig sabihin, nag-uusap sila ng district engineer na ito yung mga pinapapondohan ni Congressman Garjola sa aking distrito sa 2026. Pero dahil ako ay hindi pumapayag sa parking o sa digging of bids and parking fee, sa ibang distrito na lang nilagay ang pondo. So kung saan may kickback at rigging of bids, dun nila nilagay ang pondo, logically.
Sir, yung sinasabi nyo kay Congressman Eric Buhain, ito sa 2025 budget naman yun. Yung naibigay niya na, o 5%.
Opo. I stand by the fact that I asked him kung maaari wag na niyang ibigay dahil tinalo ko naman na sa eleksyon si Congressman Eric Buhain at sinabi niya, gaya na niya bago mag-eleksyon.
Personal yung pag-uusap to, sir, or via phone?
Lawrence,
Phone.
Phone. Okay. Sir, last na lang.
Pero
Overtime na tayo.
lumabas na yan sa Rappler.
Lumabas na. Okay, siguro last lang, sir. How do you plan to solve this problem, sir? Kanina binabanggit nyo, ibigay na lang sa... Kasi di ba dapat wala naman talagang projects ang mambabatas? Kasi mambabatas nga kayo eh. So bakit kayo may mga projects?
As long as there's discretion, hindi maiwasan. Kasi bawal na nga ang pork barrel eh. Bawal na nga ang secret insertion eh. Pero inaabot mo na lang yung listahan sa DPWH para kargado sa NEP pa lang at ang pinapalabas galing sa planning engineer. Kaya ano ang solusyon? Dapat, based on equation na lang yung formula para walang papaboran ang DPWH.
Lawrence, realities on the ground. Oo, hindi kasi wala nga ano eh. Okay. Anyways, before we...
Mamihit ako.
Oh, sige. Last.
Hi, Kong. Margo po from SMNI. Wala ba kayong plano na sampahan ng ethics complaint si Representative
Gardiola.
Cardona?
I think the proper forum is the ombudsman.
Okay.
Kasi hindi ka naman makulong sa ethics case, di ba?
Oo, wala.
Oh,
At the most, expulsion.
hindi ma-freeze yung assets mo sa ethics case, di ba?
Mm.
Actually, may nagpayo nga na dapat madaliin ng asset freeze eh. Kasi baka ngayon, yung mga implicated,
Nakasubi na, nakasave na.
nililipat na yung mga assets nila. Kaya, I am keenly awaiting what will happen by the December 15 deadline. And in fact, I heard that the ICI will have further announcements today. And that the proper or the best forum is the ombudsman, which is why I've shared information with the ICI and the ombudsman.
Pero yung kahit pauna, kasi nga di ba knowing na yung madalas yung hindi pag-attend ng session. Kasi
Ayan,
for
the fact
3
na hindi
months,
nag-a-attend ng session, sabi mo.
Tapos yung fact na inoferan ka mismo para gumawa ng mga illegal na mga ano sa budget.
May problema dyan sa he said, she said yan. Pero
But
yung maganda yung absentee.
Kung payag ang House leadership na lahat ng mga nag-o-offer ng project sa mga congressman sa Kongreso ay ma-ethics, alam mo, mabuting
Close shop.
rekomendasyon dyan, pero baka maraming may ayaw dyan. Kaya, ang...
Des, ano lang,
Bakit
sa
ba kasi-
absenteeism niya.
Hindi po ito kasi kasalanan ng House leadership. Ganito kasi talaga yung way things are for a long time, and it's hard to change it so abruptly. Pero mula sa panawagan ni Pangulong Marcos sa kanyang SONA na imbestigahan ang mga proyekto ng DPWH, napakarami na po ang mga nagbago sa House of Representatives. So I would like to give credit as well to the House.
Sir, last na, maliban kay Cardiola, may iba pa bang mga house rep na madalas umabsent sa session?
O secretariat.
Nakikita nyo naman sa live stream na on a normal day, konti lang ang mga uma-attend ng session. Nung October 13 approval ng budget, by the way, maraming uma-attend sa approval ng budget, may dahilan. Pero, hindi ko yan sasabihin ngayong araw.
Second part ba yung kapihan?
Pero yung ano, susuga ko na yung absenteeism. Kasi yung parang kay Bato de la Rosa, 3 linggo na, sabi nga ni si Tito Sen, susuhin. Kasi wala kami sa rules na ganyan eh, pero sa House.
Yan nga po, wala sa session on a regular day. And ang paliwanag naman dyan, nasa distrito nila sila.
Ng ano,
Diba?
alibay. Yeah. Anyway.
Kasi sinasabi nga, yung mga umattend sa Congress, natatalo pa sa election, yung mga palagi nasa distrito yung nananalo eh. So, natural naman.
presence
And
nila.
baka naman,
Official business.
Baka naman official business sa kanilang distrito. Tapos yung work, ginagawa ng staff nila sa Congress.
Yeah, okay. Ang ano, before we close, I would like to, siyempre, he will render his closing remarks, pero may disclaimer muna ako. Hindi kami Congressman Lidiste ng kasuotan today, Kaya na ko napansin, paano na kami ng kasuotan? Anyways, Congressman Lidiste, for your takeaway.